Hi guys, welcome to my new video. Today I will share some amazing, relaxing mood with you because now we feel so comfortable. I'm like fish in the sea or in the Ureki sea because this is where I am now. Okay, let's go.
When I studied at school, after every summer holiday, we wrote an essay «Как я провел лето», which is how I spent my summer. And I want this to be a video essay on this topic, and in this video I will show you new places that I discovered. For example, we will see a cave town. We'll also visit Borjomi, which is this town with mineral waters. I will also share some life updates because I haven't made such a video in a while. So don't forget to like this video and let's go!
Welcome to the next destination in our summer journey, which is Borjomi, famous for its water. It is one of the main Georgia's exports, and this water is considered posh.
And here's a life hack how to get this mineral water for free. Before going into the park and paying 5 lari for the ticket, you can just take it here. You see there is a big line of tourists who are lining up for this water, and now I'm going to try it as well because I drank Vardzia only from bottles, but now it's time for real true nature experience. So let's go. I'm excited.
Она у вас никак газированная, она везде в бутылках газированная. И здесь, она здесь тоже газированная, просто это газификация от минимальных количеств. Когда сюда приехала семья Романовых, попробовала эту воду, она реально почувствовала, что это вода дает человеку ощущение.
Okay, so now it's time to try this famous hydrocarbonate sulfur water or something. I don't feel any smell. But I do feel the taste. And it's not... I don't know how a spoiled egg tastes, but this is how I imagine its flavor. So, as the tour guide said that this water expires after several hours and that it's bad for your health to drink too much of it.
So this is one of the main attractions of Borjomi Park, and the ticket costs 5 lari. And if you go there, firstly there is some amusement area, a laughter room with the Shrek and other cartoon characters. Also from there starts a very cool hiking trail, and I will show it on the map. So this is the old town, and the water park starts here, and then it takes about 50 minutes of walking up to the hot water pool, sulfur pools. I wanted to visit it, but I decided that I will do it next time. And by the way, if you're wondering what is this unusual wooden thing around me, it is one of the unique Borjomi bridges. Actually, yeah, it is how it looks. It's like a loop, and it's very cool for taking pictures here. This is how it looks from the distance, but it's very cool when you are inside of this bridge. I wonder if it's possible to make a loop here on like a very fast motorcycle, starting from here, then going all the way on the ceiling, and then here. I don't know, just my assumption. Also, you can see that water bottles are sold here everywhere in the tourist area, so it's better to take your own. Oh my god, there is some bug on me. Hello, bug. Bye.
Google Maps showed me this attraction called the Chicken Mosaic, so I was excited about visiting it. But this chicken has company, so here there are other animals. This one is probably a snake. This mosaic is dedicated not only to animals but also to Christian faith and some important years in the history of Georgian Christianity. Found some interesting local art. Is it some anime character? Hello, dog. Where will you walk me to? Yes, it's exactly what I love, walking around non-touristy areas, finding some local pieces of art, destroyed buildings, and so on. What is there? The dog brought me to some obscene graffiti, philosophical quotes. Life is art of dying. Some pretty colorful art. It's probably made by little kids. Some Nazi symbols, an old mattress, boxes with empty glass bottles. Oh my god, I love it. A boot and a melancholic trash bin. I assume that this is their dog house with plates and some dog food. And here I found some old bookshelf. Here it even says in Russian, a shelf for books with glass. I don't know the year it was produced, but here it says KSSR, city of Kondonoga, Karelos or something. So probably it's from the region of Karelia. And wow, I did not know that in the USSR it was like a separate republic, Soviet Republic, KSSR. I should check it. Yes, I looked this up, and there used to be the Socialist Autonomous Republic of Karelia, and there is a town called Kondopoga, and yeah, apparently they produced this shelf. Is it empty? Maybe I will find some books there. Even a piece of glass remained, and I think that I could take this shelf and place it to some hipster coffee shop. Not expect to see a monument to the Russian composer Tchaikovsky here. Here's even a quote by him. Borjomi is one of the most precious places I ever saw. Wow. Thank you, Georgia, for celebrating Russian beer creators. I am in the stone town. It's called Uplistsikhe. It is an ancient... Yeah, firstly, I will tell you about this cave town. In Georgian, it's called Uplistsikhe. It's translated as Lord's Fortress. This rock-hewn town is one of the most important monuments of Georgian culture because it preserved the remains of structures built over several millennia. The city had tunnels, pharmacies, wine cellars, basilicas, and I found a place for myself too. After 3 years of living in immigration, I finally have a cozy home. The area is small, only 1 square or round meter, but as we say in Russian, в тесноте да не в обиде, squeezed but pleased. In this economy, you know, there is a Christian church. It's called Church of Prince. This Orthodox Christian church was built in the 10th century atop the ruins of a pagan temple.
Because long before that, Uplistsikhe was a large center of paganism. Here they performed ritual sacrifices and worshipped the sun, water, fire, and other pagan gods. In 337 AD, Christianity was declared the official religion of Georgia. Uplistsikhe refused to submit to the new faith, so the city was eventually overtaken, its inhabitants persecuted, and their pagan temples converted into Christian churches.
Guys, I didn't manage to show you much of Uplistsikhe, but here's some update because now we can see it from above. Yes, it is a miniature of Uplistsikhe, and I'm in the park actually of small versions of Georgian famous buildings, churches, cathedrals, and it's really cool. Although this park is located in a different part of Georgia, now I'm on the shore of the Black Sea in Shakvetili. It is a very well-maintained place with nice lawns, crafted wooden benches. I just love them. I mean, they impress me as much as all these buildings together. I don't know. However, Uplistsikhe is not the only cave town in this country because there is even a more impressive looking one, this one. Let's look closer at it. The caves of Vardzia stretch along the cliff for some 500 meters and in up to 19 tiers. It was conceived as a place where the villagers could take shelter in the face of enemy raids, and it was designed to accommodate up to 50,000 people. Actually, I went on that trip with my friend and her relatives, and they all came from Russia, like uncle, aunt, and her cousin. Honestly, I'm grateful for the fact that I spent just one day with them. I mean, my friend is fine, but her relatives, of course I knew this, but it proved this in real life that people of a very opposite political position, they also are people. They also might look okayish because these people, they are a very nice family. They were kind to me, and my friends warned me, don't discuss politics with them. And the thing is that this uncle actually was born in Georgia. He is Russian, but when the Soviet Union collapsed, he and his family moved out to Russia. You know, there was the Russification process, difficult ethnic conflicts. I think that this man has some kind of resentment. When he was growing up in his Soviet childhood, there were no division for Russian, Azerbaijani, Georgian, Uzbek. There was, this Soviet concept of friendship of the people, which I think was partially true. That's why this man wants to kind of return the Soviet Union. That's why during the trip he said things like, "Oh, Georgia now wants to be independent, but the Soviet Union gave everything to Georgia. They built factories, they brought civilization, this common trope of a colonizer that brought civilization to a country. And okay, maybe it's true the Soviet power did build these facilities in its colonies, but so what? This country already passed away many years ago, like 30 years ago, and it's not going to return back." And also this man said that now they're teaching in Georgian schools that Russians were bad guys. Now Ukrainians also are taught that they are a separate nation. And I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh my god. And also they told me about their honey business very enthusiastically. They love this thing. I forgot this word, pasika. And this woman said, I also use this wax for making trench candles for
our soldiers at the special military operation. I knew that this is a thing when people gather to either make such candles or to weave camouflage nets, and they sent this all for the soldiers in Ukraine. So I knew that, but here I met a person who is participating in it. I just didn't say anything. I was like, okay. I think it was very educational and useful for me to meet this family, to learn how things in Russia now. They actually told me how there were drone attacks in their village. The government shuts down the internet connection from the midnight until the 6 in the morning, and they cannot use the internet at all. Judging by their stories, I see that life changed, but people are adapting to it. These people think that they are on the right side of the history. They just think that we are defending our country, but at the same time, this woman also told me that she doesn't like how the government is imposing fake patriotism on the kids. She told me how the government sends particular guidelines on how to talk with kids in kindergartens and schools about war. They make children to draw tanks, not flowers, but tanks, and sing military songs, the Russian anthem, and so on. And she disapproves this, but at the same time supports soldiers. I also discovered a new hobby this summer, which is comedy improvisation. So last year, when I traveled to Europe, I visited my first improv show. It was in Copenhagen, and it was a show in English where the comedians played a whole sketch with hints from the crowd. So we said random words to them, and they created a whole play about a mushroom town. They also sang musical, and it was just amazing. And I didn't even know that 1 year later I will find myself in something like this. So here in Tbilisi I found a community of improvisators, and I firstly was afraid of going there, but I decided why not. And now I've been going there for almost 2 months, 2 times every week, and sometimes I'm visiting the show held by professional improvisators. And there we play skits on different formats. For example, one of them is called exam. I have to pass an exam, but I can say words starting only with one particular letter, and the exam also has one particular topic. Another variation of this exercise is a doctor appointment or a police appointment. And at one time I went to a policeman, and I can say only words with h, and in the Russian language there are very few words starting with this letter, but I think that I did it okay-ish. Also, we have a rap battle where we have to diss another team on a particular topic. For example, once I was in a team of Twilight fans, and we rapped against Home Alone fans. I also noticed that this hobby made me more relaxed, surrounded by other people. For example, yesterday I went to some event, and there were lots of unfamiliar people. I was not worried about it at all. I wasn't anxious. Comparing that with what I felt 1 year ago is really a progress. I feel like I found a hobby that I want to do for the rest of my life, or at least that I want to see as a spectator. Okay guys, I decided to create a vacation for myself, and I came to Ureki. It is the town on the Black Sea coast that I made a video about. There I tell you not about the vacation stuff, but about the mythological history of this place and the properties of this black sand that is believed to be
healing. I was here in June when there were no tourists because the season hasn't started yet, and it was quite cold. But now it's mid-September, and still there are many vacationers. The water is very, very warm. It's very relaxing. Once again, I proved that Georgia is such a beautiful country because it consists of many different climate zones and types of landscape on a relatively small area. The Tbilisi Sea Lake in the capital, the Black Sea.
I thought that I would finish this video in Ureki, but considering the recent news from Georgia and the fact that it's October now, I want to comment on what is happening here. So recently there were new elections and the ruling Georgian Dream Party won there again, and some people disagree with it. And exactly 1 year ago I made a video about this protest, and you can watch it after watching this video. Of course, I'm not an adequate source of Georgian protest news. I just want to share my opinion here as a Russian. Of course, I dislike the influence that Russia has on Georgia. I'm disturbed by the fact that some of the Russian citizens who went out to the Georgian protests were jailed allegedly for storing drugs. And there is a version that this is how the Russian government, together with the Georgian security forces, try to scare us, to discourage us from protesting. And also the news about the opposition leaders being arrested are very alarming. It reminds me of what was happening in the Russian political environment about 10 years ago. Also, a friend who I knew from the local Russian-speaking community was not let into Georgia. He is not a prominent Russian political activist. He just participated in the events organized by the Russian-speaking community here. When I read news like this, I think that I might be the next one. But other than that, I'm safe here because I don't attend these local protests. Everything is fine. I actually started going to acting and improv classes. I also went to a live action roleplay game set in the medieval times. We went to the countryside for 2 days where we recreated the medieval atmosphere. We lived in a 12th century German village. There were Catholic priests, angels, demons. I felt like it is a 2-day long improv show. It was just mind-blowing. I also crafted a costume for myself, jewelry. I was a miller, and I actually was the only feminist among the women in that village, the 12th century. And I was the only woman who, by my legend, by my biography, was allowed to wear pants. This is my potion, and also a sack of flour. And this is me. I'm a miller or muller. I also possess a knife to protect myself from evil spirits. And also I have a wallet with some golden coin. And actually, I wanted my character to wear a beard. I always wanted to see how a beard looks on my face, and I thought that such a game would be a good opportunity for this. I even ordered a fake beard, but in the last days I decided that no, it would be too much of a stress. But I made this slit on my eyebrow. It's not noticeable almost, but for me it's already a big change. Thank you for watching this video. Write your thoughts and opinions in the comments. How did you spend your summer? Is it important for you to somehow mark the transition between the seasons? Because for me, honestly, autumn came really unexpectedly. Yeah, I put this pumpkin, but I'm still mentally in the summer somewhere. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and goodbye. Пока-пока.